What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Explore Inspired Show. I'm Jonathan Ronzio. You might notice that the gear wall behind me is looking a little bare right now. There's some empty spots based on what's usually there, and that's because it's all on the bed right here. I am currently just pulling out gear and laying it all out because I'm going to climb Mount Shasta this weekend. So that should be a fun adventure that I'll be posting about. Follow along at Jonathan Ronzio and on exploreinspired.com. Probably next week, even as early as Monday, you'll see some awesome stuff from the trip up Shasta. But today, on this episode, I want to talk about how really I've been able to turn so many ideas into realities, how I take action on ideas, what deep down is responsible for the impulsive drive I have to act. And that, it all comes down to two things that my dad used to tell me as a kid. It really used to drill into my brother and I, and that was, do it now and finish. Do it now and finish. It was so simple, but at the time, do it now meant the dishes or your homework. Close the door behind you so it's not open in the garage or whatever. It was like those were just things we had to do, and do it now was just my dad's way of getting us to to be more conscious of our actions in the moment and know that if you say you're gonna do something, the present is the best time to do it. If you keep pushing it off, it doesn't get done. And so just the do it now thing became so foundational for me to as soon as I have an idea, I'm planning it out. I'm buying the domain name or drawing up a logo or telling people about it and seeing what they say, seeing how they react. I'm giving it a shot. Every time I want to try something, I try it rather than just continue to talk about it and put it off. So that's the do it now part. And then the finish part is the other side of basically why I've been successful with the things that I've tried. And it's because I'm not only attempting, but I have this innate drive to see something through. And when I was a kid at the time, the finish aspect meant probably a lot of the same things to remember, to finish closing the door or to finish your homework. It was they kind of went hand in hand, but now to me they represent two different sides of the spectrum, and I'm so thankful for those lessons. And now, not to leave my mom out of this, my mom kind of morphed every other aspect of my life and made me the person, the gentleman that I am today. But those two lessons from my dad, do it now and finish, were foundational for the business, the drive, the adventure, the zest that I bring to attempting ideas and seeing them through. And if you can see, if you can implement those two things into your life, when you think you're going to do something, when you decide that you want to start a new habit or try an idea or start a blog or whatever it is, just do it. Just get started. Don't talk about it. Just do it. And then the finish aspect is and then see it through. And for me, I was just today reflecting on Between the Peaks Expedition Denali, which was last June. We were up in Denali splitboarding, and that was the continuation, the chapter 2 to close out the Between the Peaks story, which started in 2011 and then became the first expedition was in 2013, going down to Aconcagua and climbing and volunteering all through South and Central America, those 4.5 months on the road. And then we ran out of money in Guatemala. And we came back, and life kept getting in the way, and we didn't make it to Denali the next year, or the next year, or the next year. But that second peak of Between the Peaks was always on the horizon, and we had to finish it out, and I wasn't gonna not. So last summer we were able to get there and finish up. And the reason I'm reflecting on that is because I'm starting to pull out the ropes, the harnesses, the axes, the everything I need to go climb another glaciated mountain, which is Shasta. And so that just had me reflecting on this as a whole, and again how foundational the do it now and the finish were to the Between the Peaks project, to every other thing I have attempted personally and professionally in my life. So today's episode is a little bit of a shorter one, but it's a really incredibly important lesson. So just take those two things away. Do it now and finish. I've got to get to packing. I've got a volcano to climb. Cheers. See you next week.